Hey, welcome back. So let's add some functionality to our post screen button right here. So I wanted to open a dialog, and then in that dialog we type our screen and we press submit, and then it shows it right here. So let's do that. Okay, so in our project here, let's create a new component, call it post screen.js, Pascal cased of course. And here in the navbar, let's replace this first button. This one right here. Let's say post screen, close the tag. Let's remove the add icon, we don't need it anymore. And here let's import the component we just created. So post screen from same level post screen. Alright, we're here. So this one is gonna have a dialog. It's gonna need a bunch of things very similar to the edit details. So we can actually copy all of these and then edit it. So let's bring the Redux stuff down. I prefer to have it at the bottom. And we need Redux, React, component, fragment, prop types, all this stuff. We need, we're not gonna need actions. Let me remove actions, and instead, we also need the circular progress. So circular progress. I want to show a spinner when we are sending our request. So material UI / core / circular progress. Alright, we don't need edit user details. Instead, we need post screen from data actions, and we need to create that in a moment. And here we say class post screen extends component. Here let's do export default connect. We're gonna have a map state to props, and we only need one action. So let's say here inside this object post screen, and we connect it with styles, and we pass it styles, and the second parameter is our component post screen. Here let's say const styles. Let's leave it empty for now. Let's do our prop types. So post screen dot prop types. Here we have post screen prop types dot func dot is required, and we're gonna need the UI. So let's say UI prop types dot object dot is required. Let's do our map state to props. Const map state to props equals takes in the state and returns the following. So we just need the UI. So UI is state.ui. Okay, before we carry on, let's actually create the action. So let's go to data actions, and here I'm gonna put it under the get screen. Let's put a comment, say post a screen, and here let's say export const post screen. It takes in new screen. It needs dispatch as well, so we go through dispatch. And here I want as well, so we got that loading spinner, we want to show some loading. So let's dispatch an action with the type loading UI. After that, let's do our Axios call. So Axios dot post to /screen, and we pass the new screen as the data. So dot then when you get a response, here we're gonna dispatch a new one, a new type. So this will be type. I'm gonna call this post screen, and the payload will be the response, so res.data, which is gonna be one screen. And here actually let's do the dot catch first, so it would make sense, because we could get some validation errors. If you remember, we could have an empty body and it will say like body must not be empty. So here if we get an error, we need to dispatch set errors. So type set errors, and the payload is so error.response. data, yeah. And here actually let's dispatch a clear errors just in case there is some errors. So type is clear errors. Let me make sure everything is fine. So yeah, post scream res.data, we dispatch clear errors. Okay, yeah, everything is fine here. And let me make sure we brought everything. So we need post scream, which actually I think it doesn't exist yet in the types. So it's set errors and clear errors. And yeah, loading UI. Do we have loading UI? We don't. Loading UI. Let's go to types and create the ones that we don't have yet. So for data, we need to say export const post scream equals post scream. And we need loading UI, it's created. Set errors, we need clear errors. So let's say export const clear errors equals clear errors. Alright, so now we need to go to the data reducer and change the state accordingly. So here, under here we say case post scream. So okay, let's bring in the type as well actually. So post scream. So here if we get a scream, we need to add it to our screams array. So here we say return the state as it was, and in screams we're gonna actually put it at the top, so because it's the newest one. So here we do action.payload, and then we spread the rest of state.screams. Alright, so we're done here. Let's save everything and let's go to our post scream and create it. So inside of this component we're gonna have a state. We have a dialog, so we need the open. So initially it's set to false. We need a body for our scream, which is empty, and potential errors that we can get, which is an empty object initially. So here we need handle open and handle close. Doesn't take anything. I just this dot set state to open to true. Let's copy this and do the same for close. Well, not the same, but we just change the value of open to false. Alright, here let's do our render. Let's get our errors in case there's any from the state. Oops, this dot state. And let's get our classes. And we also need the loading from UI. Actually, we need just the loading. So what we can do here, we can do in map state.props, we can say loading. Oops, not like this. Loading, and it will be, yeah, we need loading, and here we'll say loading as well, and it will be the state.ui.loading. So we get just that. Actually, no, never mind, I'm wrong, because errors is stored in there, and we will need errors as well. Oops. Okay, so from UI here we need loading, and here we get these from this dot props, and we return. We're gonna have a fragment that's gonna surround everything, and first is gonna be the button that triggers this. So my button is gonna have a on click of this dot handle open. And the tip, the tip will say post a scream with a exclamation mark, because it's screaming, of course. And here we'll have an add icon with a color of primary. Or will it be a primary? I don't think it's going to be primary because it's going to be blue. So we just say add icon. And let's bring the icon. So here, let's do import add icon from material UI slash icons slash add. Here we're gonna have our dialog. So dialog, and here we need a what do we need? An open. This dot state dot open. We need an on close, which is this dot handle close. Let's give it full width and a max width of SM. Alright, here let's tab and let's say what do we need? We need a title first. So actually I'm gonna put a button first. I want to put like a close button on the top right. So let's say my button, and this will have a tip that says close. It's just, I just wanted to show you like you can do this as well. I can do a cancel button, but I just want to show you this style as well. Let's have some variety. This dot yeah, this close button as well has handle close when you click it, so it closes the modal. Oops, close the dialog. And let's give it a class name because we'll need to style this. And what do we call this? Classes dot close button. And inside of here, I think there's a close icon. Let me check quickly. So movie docs. Actually, I need the material design. Yep, close. So it's gonna be just close. So let's copy this and select add and Control D and do close. So close icon. So here let's say close icon without any color. Let's leave it black. And here under the button we need our title. So dialog title. This will say post a new screen. And under here we need our dialog content. So dialog content. And here we're gonna have a form. And let's say on submit equals this dot handle submit, which we haven't created yet, but we will in a moment. Here we'll have a, oops, what is this? Here we'll have a text field with a name of body, a type of text, a label of, what do we say, scream, because why not? We're gonna give it multi-line because this is gonna be a text area. Let's give it 3 rows, so rows 3. Give it a placeholder. Let's say, I don't know, scream at your fellow friends, or apes, since this is social ape. And of course we need an error in case there's any errors, and here the error is the errors.body. If you remember, we have that in our validation. So actually inside the expression we say if it's true then true, else false. Alright, so here helper text, which will show the error message, text like this, and this will say we'll have errors.body. Of course, if it's undefined, we're not gonna have any text. And here let's give it a class name of classes dot text field, the global text field styling that we have, classes. Actually, to use the global styles, we need to take in our theme. So theme, and return this, and then spread the theme here, so that we can use the global styles. What's wrong? Oh, because this is not closed here. Okay. I think this is it. Actually, we need the onChange, and we'll say this dot handle change. Let's say full width. Yep, that's it. That's one beefy text field. Here we'll put a submit button. So button, and we're just gonna have a type of submit, a variant of contained, because that's the style we went with. We continue with that style. A color of none other than primary. Let's give it a class name of classes.submit button. A disabled, gonna do the same thing like the sign up form and the login as well. Disabled onloading. And inside the button we're gonna have the circular progress. So let's say circular progress. Let's give it a size of 30. I think the size doesn't matter actually, as long as it's inside something. It's not gonna be bigger than it, but you can experiment and find out. Let's give this a progress spinner class, because we need to make this, we need to give it the position of absolute and give this the position of relative, so that this would be centered within the button. Okay, so, oh yeah, the button needs to say, where are we? So here, inside the button we need to say submit. And yep, I think this is it. Oh, actually, what am I saying? The circular progress should only appear if we're loading. So here we do an expression. I cut it actually, and we say loading and, not this, and do parentheses and put the circular loading inside of it. Okay, so here in the styles, let's style the submit button. Wait, I'll give it submit button, yeah. Submit button. So here let's give this a position of relative, and the progress spinner, give this a position of absolute, and the close button as well. We need to give the close button a position of, so position of absolute. I'm like absolute. Left is, give it 90%. Where's 90? Same thing like the delete button, guys. And the top, let's give it 10%. And I think, yeah, this is it. Let's see what this looks like. Let's make sure we don't have any errors, and we do, of course. Oh, we already had clear errors, so let me remove that. Yeah, I don't know what that post screen was. I stopped and ran again and it didn't happen. Okay, so source selector is not a function. Okay, I added a pair of parentheses here by mistake. Okay, so if we click on post screen, it opens up this modal, cool, this dialog, and if I submit, okay, it reloads the whole thing. Oh, of course, I forgot to write the handle submit function, and the onChange as well for that matter. So handle change will take the event, and here we'll say this.set state. So we have event.target.name, and we set it to event.target.value. And for the handle submit, takes in the event, and we do event.prevent default. And here we use the post screen action, so this.props.post screen, and we pass it this object with the body this.state.body. Alright, let's save. Let's check it out. Alright, this is our like dialog. This is the close button. If we click it, it closes it. If we post the screen, if we actually leave it empty, we send, we don't get the errors. Let me check. State raw. We do have an error. Oh, okay. I need to do use component will receive props and assign the errors. So component, where is it? Will receive props, next props. And here let's check for the errors. So if next props dot UI dot errors, we do this dot set state errors is next props dot UI dot errors. All right, let's check again. So if we try to send empty, cool, we get an error. And if we say hello and we click submit, okay, it submits it and we see it, which is cool, but it doesn't close the this. What we can do here, but we still have the errors. What we need to do is that we need to check if there is no errors and the loading has stopped. We actually, from the component received props, close the handle. Close the dialog. So we can say here if not next props dot UI dot errors, because we clear the errors on success, if you remember from the action, and next props dot or we could just say and not, oops, and not next props dot UI dot loading. So if this is the case, this dot set state, actually let's as well empty the body, because otherwise if we open the dialog again, the body will have some text. So we put the body to an empty string, and we do this dot handle close, which will as well, the handle close will as well clear. Actually, the handle close should clear the errors. So here we say we set open to false, and we set the errors to an empty object, because if we don't, we're still gonna see the errors. Okay, so here we get errors, and if we close it, yeah, we don't get the errors anymore, because we cleared the errors once we close it. And if we submit now a new one, oh, I don't know why I saw that error for a second. Oh, because there was already errors in the state. Maybe I'm not clearing them properly. Okay, so we're submitting screens, cool. So it works and it instantly shows them here. Let's delete them. Yeah, so yeah, we're done. I don't know why I'm deleting them, because they're gibberish. Alright, so yeah, we're done with adding screens. So that's sorted. In the next video, we're gonna start working on the scream dialog, and we're gonna open this or all of screams and see more details and actually see what's going on with the scream, I guess. Alright, so thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.